Evolutionary Dating Strategies. There are a lot of ideas floating around in various spheres describing what we will metaphorically call dating strategies, or speaking in terms of evolutionary psychology, mate selection. And as we'll soon see, these are largely misunderstood. And these misunderstandings may be messing up your ability to get into a happy relationship. First, the term strategy is a metaphor. Normally, the word strategy indicates a consciously chosen collection of behaviors to get a consciously chosen outcome. You are playing chess, so you need a consciously chosen strategy. You are going to war against another country, so you need a consciously chosen strategy. You are trying to keep your head above water when your purchasing power is being destroyed by inflation, so you need a consciously chosen strategy. But mating strategies or dating strategies, or more appropriately attraction strategies, are not conscious. The basic way that evolution works is like this. You've got a bunch of animals living in an environment. The environment is slowly changing. The animals are slowly mutating. Every new generation, there are a few genetic mutations that pop up in that species of animal. And the animals that have the random collection of genes, the random configuration of genes, mutated or not, that just happen to match their environment, they win the replication contest. They get to survive. The other animals that have genes that are not as closely matched based on random genetic mutation to the environment, they get outpopulated. And what does it mean to survive? Natural selection and the evolution that it adds up to is based on a replication contest. Whoever can replicate better than all the other competitors within that animal species, they get to survive. The others do not. The animals that just happen to be lucky enough by random chance that have the genetic configuration that best matches the environment, they will win the replication contest. The rest will slowly be outpopulated. It would be incorrect to say that the animals mutated so that they could match the environment. Animals mutate all the time, and the animals within whatever species that just happen to have the best genetic configuration to match the environment, they will outpopulate everybody else. They are the winners of the intergenerational random lucky genetic mutation contest. It is correct to say that an entire species of animals mutated over time, but individual animals do not do that. Individual animals do not do that. Individual animals are born with whatever genetic configuration they come with, and they keep that their entire lives. Genes do not have intentions. Genes don't have the ability to guess the future and then mutate to hopefully match that future. Now, it may seem like we are splitting hairs, so let's look at an example and see how misunderstanding this can mess you up. Imagine a group of humans way back in the day. This is just a metaphor, but it will help us to understand. Imagine a whole bunch of different guys, and these different guys all had randomly generated genetic configurations that made them like randomly different types of women. This was absolutely not conscious. Whatever attraction they had for whatever type of lady they were attracted to was driven by randomly generated genetic configurations, not a conscious choice, not a logical choice, not a rational choice. Some guys liked old ladies because that's what their genes made them like. Some guys liked middle-aged ladies because that's what their genes made them like. Some guys liked younger ladies because that's what their genes made them like. Some guys like trees or sheep or something because that's what their genes made them like. And whatever they liked, remember, this was purely subconscious, purely emotional, not rational. Nobody chose what they liked. Like they say, attraction is not a choice. And among all these guys with all these different randomly generated genes that made them like whoever they liked, who would win the replication contest? The guys that liked the youngest women. Why? Because the guys that got together with the younger women would make more copies of themselves, because younger women have more childbearing years ahead of her. And the guys who had randomly generated genes that made them like young women would outpopulate everybody else, because they would make more copies of themselves. Now, what about the ladies? And we'll assume the same thing. All these different types of ladies like different types of guys based only on their randomly created gene structure. Some girls had genes that made them fall in love with poets who spitted mad poetry game based only on their randomly generated genes. Some ladies like pretty boys who sucked at hunting based only on their randomly generated genes. Some girls had randomly generated genes that made them fall in love with high status men. And when we say high status, we mean men that continuously got the respect and admiration from all the other tribal members. Why did they get that status and recognition? Because they were consistently the best hunters. They provided the most value to the entire tribe. Now, the girls that got together with the poets might have a few kids, but all the kids would die because poets aren't the best hunters. The ladies that got together with the pretty boys would have some kids, but the kids would all die because these pretty boys, remember, are not the best hunters. So none of these ladies would make copies of themselves because all their children would die. However, the ladies that had the randomly generated genes that made them fall in love with high status men, all their kids would survive, because that high status is an indication of that dude's ability to take care of all her kids. Now, which would be the best combination? The best combination would be young women, because she has many, many childbearing years ahead of her, which means she can make the most copies of herself and her husband's kids, and the high status men, because he had the best capability of taking care of all those kids. This combination, high status male, young woman, would outpopulate everybody else. They would win the replication contest. So we can briefly summarize this by saying that women are most attracted to high status men, and men are programmed by evolution to be most attracted to young women. So what's the problem? The problem comes when we see this as a conscious strategy. A guy will see a girl go after a high status man, and he'll think to himself, oh, I see, she's going after him so he can take care of her kids, and she's planning her future with him. That's not true. She is only going after him because she is most attracted to him based on the genes that survived all of the replication contest over the past 100,000 years. Our genes are the way they are because of what happened in the past. They are not the way they are because of what we think will happen in the future. Similarly, a guy will go after a young woman, and people will say, oh, he's going after a young woman because she's got a lot of childbearing years ahead of her, and because he wants to start a family, that's the best logical choice. That is also incorrect. He is going after her because he is most attracted to her. Now, why is this important? Because misunderstanding this and seeing phrases like mate selection strategy or dating strategy kind of makes it seem like this is a conscious choice on the part of the people that are falling in love with each other. It implies that these evolutionarily programmed strategies are negotiable. They are absolutely not. We like the people that we like, and that's it. If you like somebody and somebody asks you why you like them, you may try and come up with a reason, but those are not the real reasons. You like somebody because you like somebody, and that's it. Nobody has a conscious reason for liking the people that we like. Sure, there are other factors when it comes to consciously choosing a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a marriage partner, but the initial attraction is based on ancient evolutionary programming. It is not logical. It is not rational. It is not conscious. The reason for any unconscious attraction to anybody is based on what happened hundreds of thousands of years ago. We are the winners of the replication contest. Now, what does this mean for you? If somebody doesn't like you, don't waste your time trying to negotiate attraction. Don't waste your time going meta so you can explain to yourself all the evolutionary reasons why they like somebody else instead of you. If they don't like you, find somebody that does. Forget about the reasons. It will only keep you on the sidelines. Of course, life is way more complicated than this, but understand that we humans like what we like, and that is it. There is never any rational or logical reason why we like the people that we like, or why we like the things that we like. Get in the game. Keep playing until you find somebody that likes you as much as you like them. Forget about the reasons. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. To learn more, please visit mindpersuasion.com.